Hi everyone, my name is Anika and I am the founder of Grad Careers Coach, and I'm joined by Jian, who is our fantastic student career consultant. We wanted to record a very quick video for you guys, talking all about the new rules around the 2-year graduate visa extension. I know this is very, very exciting. When we heard about it, we thought this is potentially life-changing for many of you, and I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions. And we wanted to just talk about what it is and also what it means for you. So, Jan, what would you say?
I think it's really important that we would like to really address about this 2 years graduate visa extension. So from what we know at the moment, the government is already announced that they're going to bring this 2 years extension visa back. However, there's not much details has been published yet. So no one really knows exactly what it is and how it would work. The reason being is because this bill hasn't been passed by the parliament. We are very positive. We think that it will be passed.
Definitely. Yeah, it's looking very
really,
likely.
Really likely. Yeah. So it will be passed. But once it's passed, then we will have a lot more details about that. However, based on the previous post-study work visa in 2012 that we know, I think it will be good that today we would like to present you 3 pros and 3 cons of having this 2 years graduate visa extension, which how you can maximize this opportunity to build a very exciting career that you want in the UK.
Absolutely. Yeah. So kick off with a pro, is that me?
Yeah, you got the pro. Yeah.
The first advantage, the very obvious one, I think, is more time. So the 2 years after you graduate will just mean that you can have much less pressure. You know, at the moment, many of you have 4 months after you graduate to jump in and focus on securing a job, and it's very intense, okay? And by the time you graduate, many of the graduate jobs have been filled up, and you know it's just not enough time. So the 2 years will be a huge advantage in that sense.
And also, I think that is a huge difference for students who comes in January intake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So because of the recruitment cycle in the UK, you know, we need to understand. Maybe Anika, you want to tell students about it?
So if you, at the moment, if you're say a master's student and your visa expires in January, you are limited. You know, if companies are employing along the recruitment cycle that we have now, you are going to be much more restricted. So if you
just to add, is because it's starting from September.
Exactly.
Because they start recruiting in September.
Many graduate programs start in September or October, and if you're a master's student, you know, you have a gap between when you graduate, when your visa expires, when the job has their intake.
Yes.
So you miss out. So the 2 years means that you have more flexibility. You can apply to graduate jobs, graduate programs who have the autumn intake. Okay, so you don't miss out on that opportunity, and I think that's such a big advantage. We mainly work with master students, and this will make a huge difference for you, which is great.
And for September intake students as well, you will also have another advantage, which is the second chance.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you mean by second chance? You want to
okay, so the second chance, say that you're currently a student and you've been applying for graduate jobs for the next following year, and you've not been successful for whatever reason. You're getting rejected from the top jobs that you really want to work in. You know, that happens. That's completely part of the process. But say your dream company, I don't know, is to work at PwC, and you've applied, you've been rejected, and it's frustrating. Many companies only give you one opportunity to apply, or you have to wait, for the next recruitment cycle. Whereas if you have a 2-year extension, you're essentially given another chance to apply for your dream company. Okay? And I think that's a huge advantage. So you may not have been successful on your first attempt, but you can apply for the next recruitment cycle and be in for a very good chance.
Yes.
So a huge win for you guys.
Yeah. And the third point, I think, is really important as well. It's one of the biggest pros is for students. If you are planning to do a 1 year or two kind of a short-term work experience in the UK, this visa is perfect for you because previously, once you finish, you start thinking about your internship, you start thinking about getting your work experience, and you might not have that because you usually, currently you can only do a 3 months internship, or maybe you have a 1 year placement with the university, but if you don't get that, you will be reduced, or your visa will be reduced, everything. But with this visa, it means that you have time to look for a good internship, a good placement for you for that 1 year that you can actually use, or even 2 years that you can use, get some really good UK working experience before you return to your country.
And you can take that with you.
Yes, exactly.
It boosts your CV, it boosts your career prospects wherever you work.
Yes, that's right.
So that's brilliant. Yeah, we really like that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the 3 pros that we have, and now we'd like to talk about the 3 cons.
Yes.
Yeah.
The disadvantages.
So the disadvantages of PSW. So one thing that just actually is linked to the pros. It's one of the disadvantage for you is PSW, or this 2 years extension graduate visa extension, is essentially a short-term visa. So it is not a long-term visa for you. What does it mean is you cannot extend it beyond the 2 years. So once you've done with the 2 years, then it's the end of it. If you're still planning to stay in the UK to build your career, then you need to find another visa category to go on to. And usually, the one of the very natural way for you to go on to is to apply for a tier 2 general visa, which you can switch from your visa extension, the 2 years extension, to a tier 2 visa. So this is really important point that I think that of students that you consider, those of you that who consider that you want to stay in the UK and build a career in the UK for the long term. So this is really important, right? So and the second cons, which is the second disadvantage that we have with the PSW, or the 2 year extension visa, is when you want to apply for a job, it is really important that you need to. It's very easy for you to get onto working with any other companies, right? Any other companies that who might not have a license to sponsor, And at the end of the 2 years, you will need to switch. And if they don't have the visa to sponsor, it means that you're going to start from zero all over again. So that would actually be a disadvantage for you rather than advantage. It makes it really easy to find a job. But from our experience, we also see a lot of students, and because it's easy, so it's easy for you to get any job that's available without knowing that whether the employer, have the visa, the license to sponsor. Or some employers might tell you that yes, we might, apply for the license a year later.
It might.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it might.
It's not a definite.
It's not a definite.
It's not great for you guys.
Exactly.
To not have that confidence.
Exactly. So it's not certain, and you might have also invested a lot of time in them for 2 years, and then at the end of it, they might just say to you, look, I haven't got any, I haven't been successful in applying the license, I haven't got the license, I can't sponsor you. Then you will come to the end of it, which is really a big setback for your career. If you are looking to build a long-term and good career, it actually would do more harm than helpful for your career. So I think this point is really important that you need to be aware of.
Yes,
and we talked about the third one, which is talking about building a career.
That leads really nicely to the third the third disadvantage that we discussed. It can potentially delay or even harm your future career prospects. So the 2 year visa extension, although it's fantastic in so many ways, it's all about how you are using this period of time. And if and many of you may do this, and back in 2012 we spoke about this, many students did this. If you spend those 2 years doing a casual job, you know, working as a cashier in a bank, or working in a local store, or anything part-time, you know, yes, I can understand why you want to do this. You will get some experience, you will get some...
Sorry for the noise.
Yes, so sorry. We maybe shouldn't have recorded this outside. You will get paid,
yes.
So we can totally understand why you would want to do some form of work within the 2 years, of course. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing casual work for, you know, those 1 year, 1.5, 2 years, it can harm your prospects going forward. And if you are serious about securing a top graduate job in the UK, a graduate job which comes with years of an exciting career, you know, graduate job that comes with training, qualifications, really good prospects, then this can potentially harm that if you don't spend those 2 years wisely. Because say you apply for the Big Four, you know, an employer, one of the first things they'll ask you in an interview is they'll look at your CV and say, okay, you graduated 2 years ago. Well, what have you been doing in those 2 years? If you can't give a good,
convincing answer,
then it's going to look quite negative, to be honest. That's something to really consider. What will the employer think? You know, am I using these 2 years wisely or not? And I think that's something that you must take into account. How are you going to maximize this period? Okay.
It is really good opportunity for you with this 2 years graduate visa extension, but it really depends on how you use it. If you use it right, you can actually help you to build a really, really quick career, and even, you know, springboard your career into a very successful career in the UK, or whether anywhere else. You know, if you just want to plan to stay here for a year or two, that would be a fantastic opportunity for you. However, it is also, what is really, really important is that you want to take advantage of this visa, but you don't want to be taken advantage of by employers who just want to hire someone to do the job, and then eventually not sponsoring you. So
absolutely. So it's your time wasted.
It's your time wasted.
And
so
we hate to hear students coming to us in that situation. They're at a company, they really enjoy working there, but there is no long-term future there.
That's right. There's no long-term future.
And that's all we care about, really.
So if you're looking to build a long-term career in the UK, and you are interested in working in finance, professional services, engineering, or IT, banking, we are more than happy to help you, because this is where we specialize in.
This is all we do. Our number one goal is securing you graduate jobs in these industries with the tier 2 sponsorship that you need, because essentially, despite the visa extension, that is the main route to staying in the UK successfully on a long-term basis, and eventually getting your leave to remain here, which many students don't want to do. So that's our goal. Jian, what's the next step then?
So the next step is if you would like us to help you, or you would like to find out more about how we can help you, please go onto our website, www.gradcareerscoach.com, and there'll be a link in this video or the description.
It's in the bottom of the homepage. Contact us.
Yes, contact us.
We'll try and include that link to the form in the description of this video as well, so you can find it really easily. But it's the contact us form. If you fill it out, it's your name, your email, it's your number as well. Then one of our team will get back to you very soon, because we're here to help and support you.
Yeah, right. Good luck, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.